Hi, hey guys, Jerry from Showtime Audio. So we're working on James's 2025 Silverado 3500 HD. This is a Z71. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. I love the black and white offsets, right? So it's a white paint job with shiny black trim. Just looks fantastic. So on this vehicle, we did quite a few things. Now he actually uses this vehicle. He goes off-roading. He has a full-blown trailer that he runs on the top of the truck. And so he's got all these things that he wants us to do in order to make it more functional for him. So there's a lot of the things that we've added are things that he can use in his off-roading and his camping. So we're gonna walk you through it. So one of the main things is they travel a lot, right? So they're constantly on the road. So what we did is we did ceramic window treatment all the way around sunroof, including the windshield. Now the windshield is super light. It's like 90%. Basically, it's clear. It's just more for the heat rejection portion of it. As far as the windows, same thing. We ran 70. 70 is also very, very light, but it just now gives you that heat rejection. Because normally people think they see the glass and they think that it's tinted, and it's not tinted. It's actually a pigment. It actually has no tint properties as far as blocking UV or heat or any of that. So the ceramic blocks UV, blocks heat, does all that stuff. All right, so one of the things we did is we installed these upfitter switches. So upfitter switches are usually, again, for upfitting. So in other words, if you're gonna add things down the road. This is a factory GM part. The switches were there, but none of the hardware was there. The relay, the fusing, none of that was there. So we had to add all that in, but it's all GM specs. These are all the instructions, gives you wiring diagrams, layouts, everything. One of the switches is actually running some rear fog lights that he has. So he has rear fog lights. The other switch, which was the fifth switch, runs the ability to disconnect the power for the 7-pin RV connector. So a lot of your modern cars have a 7-pin connector, which is where you plug in your trailer, your RV, your anything, and there's a hot wire, so a constant that's always hot. The problem with that is if you're running the truck, if you're running the camper or whatever is attached to it, and you run the battery down on it, it's gonna run the battery down on the vehicle. Now the vehicle does have an auxiliary battery, but if you don't have to kill it, why kill it, right? So the nice thing he can do is he can press number 5, and that will disconnect the RV connector. So now the trailer and the truck are completely separated. Otherwise, he'd have to remember to unplug it, or he'd have to remember to put some kind of a switch on the trailer. But this way, it's automatic. We have these set to ignition. So basically the only time it will connect to the trailer is when the key is on. When the key is on, it will connect to the trailer. When the key is off, it will not. So the other thing that he wanted is the new cars do not come with cigarette lighters anymore. So we added this one, and then we added one here in the back of the console. Now these are factory GM. This would have been the previous generation of Silverado, would have had this exact cigarette lighter assembly, everything from the cover to the lighter itself to the plug. And now he did have a special request for that, which makes it a little difficult, but we got it done. So he wanted a switch this is a 3-way switch. So that way it's on constant. That means they're hot all the time, regardless of the key. That's off. And this is only when the key is on. So you notice how when I shut the key off, it goes off. And then when I turn the key back on, it comes on. So this is ignition, this is constant, center is off. So on the older trucks, there was the ability to go under the hood and take a fuse and move it from ignition to constant so that you can make the lighter either hot all the time or only with the key. But the nice thing about having the switch is you can decide on the fly. So if you're running let's say a fridge and you need it on, you can leave it on. If you're running a radar detector or some other device that you want to shut off every time the key shuts off, you can do that as well. Right. So the other thing that we added to this vehicle was a kill switch. So same thing, Chevys are the hottest thing on the planet right now. They are the new Dodge. They're stealing all the Chevys now because they've figured out that the Dodges are now protected. And so they've moved on to the Chevys because the Chevys are also very easy to steal. All they need is a dealer scan tool or a locksmith scan tool. they plug in, program a key, they're gone. I mean, literally it takes them less than a minute. It's insane. So what we did is we disabled the push start. So we did a kill switch on the push PTS, the push to start button, and we're gonna show you that. So right now, the kill switch is activated. If you see, and then here's the key. It's an active key, you heard it. Will not start, right? So now I'm gonna turn the kill switch back on, and now, car starts right up. So it's a nice way to protect the vehicle. Now it is an analog version. In other words, it's manual. He has to enable it or disable it. But he goes out to the very rural places. He goes out to the middle of nowhere. He wants it to be an analog switch. In other words, he doesn't want to rely necessarily on a drone or an alarm. He wants it to be, it's like old school. Like back in the day, we used to put kill switches on Chevys and kill switches on, it was an analog, but this is before any of this was available. It was a way to protect the vehicle from starting and from them at least taking the car itself. So as part of the upfitter kit, it comes with this harness and it comes with this fuse distribution block. So basically you're just literally adding it on for the auxiliary fuse box. So it is still 100% as if it came with the truck, and it would have if let's say they optioned it for that. So this cover just goes on exactly the same way that it did before. As soon as I figure out how that is. And it locks, and there you go. And then for the lighters, we ran this fuse. So this is an additional fuse also off the auxiliary box, but you pop this cover off and there's the fuse. So this fuse supplies the cigarette lighters in the vehicle. So if anything ever goes wrong, he knows where to check. Again, we try to keep everything where it belongs, right? So we could have put that fuse, it would have been much easier to put the fuse somewhere else, but ideally this is where all the auxiliary features for the car are, so that's why we opted to put it there. All right, so these are the rear auxiliary fog lights that he added. So these are actually off of a stock bolt. There's two stock bumper bolts. So remove the bolts, modified the bracket, and bolted them right up there. And there's a harness, they got Deutsch connectors, which is like a European connector, waterproof connector. And that harness is ran all the way up to the upfitter switch. The upfitter switches actually live where your knees would be, under the knee bolster in the dash. So if you look up under there, there's a cover, and then you have all the relays and all the fusing for each individual auxiliary.
Visit our website at showtimeaudiochicago.com.